What's up, business nerds? It's Wednesday. It's home service happy hour time. I'm on a new computer. And so um I realized right when I fired this up that I don't have the app to go live on the radio. So this will be a radio podcast, but we're not going to be live on the radio. But just cuz I feel like we got to just play the radio music and pretend that it's live on the radio. We'll still drop some ad blocks for Turfs Up Radio in here. But if we're gonna get pumped up, we need Angela to get in her groove, dancing to the home service happy hour tunes here. But we got a fun filled episode for you today. It's just Angela and I hanging out today. I think JC's making a different show. I don't know where Sean's at. I don't know where Michael at. Michael's probably watching and just seeing if anybody else is gonna join. I bet that's what he's doing. Although I did
should join for the huge conversation because he was at the huge.
He was at the huge. It'd be good. I wasn't there. So I got to live vicariously through you guys. So Michael Gregory, if you're out there, get your butt in here. Although Sean and I were supposed to have a meeting with him yesterday, and he was just nowhere to be seen. Didn't hear from him. Assume he had something going on. But we'll see. Maybe he doesn't want to come here because he's afraid I'm going to be like, "Where were you, man?" And he's not going to have an excuse. He's not going to have an alibi. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Home Service Happy Hour, presented by Best Damn Bookkeeping. Angela, you want to know something cool?
Yeah.
This is a busy week of content here because yesterday I was on Lighting for Profits with Ryan Lee hanging out.
I saw that. I chimed in.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Thanks for that. We're doing this show right now, like you can tell because of the way that we're here doing the show. I got Chris Jones on tonight. You remember Chris? I met Chris at your event down in Omaha. So Chris is coming on tonight to just talk business, labor market. I'm sure we're going to BS a lot. He's probably going to be having an old-fashioned. If I know Chris like I think I do, we might be having an old-fashioned night. And then tomorrow, we officially kick off our brand new sponsor of Home Service Happy Hour. And so I got a couple dudes from that. It's a secret. I'm not even going to say who it is. But I'm going to have a new background. I'm going to have some new logos in here. The logo for our podcast is changing. The background, now I'm trying to go like off of the screen, like the background up here and down here. That's all going to change. This background around us is going to change. It's an overhaul. We got our first sponsor. And I think it's especially cool. And I've talked about this before. But I've like turned down sponsorships. The point of this show is to have a bunch of fun talking with cool business people and creating what I like to call, and this is just maybe our own genre, business entertainment. And so I don't want to be here selling people shit. I don't want to bring on sponsors that I don't believe in, that I've never used before. And so I've turned a couple down that like wanted to contribute a lot, but that's not the point of the show. It's not to rack up a bunch of money. It's to support things that we want to support, that we believe in. And so we got a sponsor that I have used. They're the right type of people. I believe in them. I want to support them like crazy. And so I'm super pumped to like bring them on as the sponsor of the show. It will always, every time we're on here, the show is truly brought to you by Unique Genius Virtual Assistants. And I can prove to you it's brought to you by them because Angela is sitting right there bringing you this show. So it's brought to you by them. It's also brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping because I'm here. I did change my job title to nerd on here. I just because Ryan and I were on doing his show and I had to put in my name and it's a new computer, so it didn't remember me. And I was just like, I don't know what I usually put here. So I went with nerd. And then I was like, well, that's just kind of like good. It's just going to stick. So that's what we're doing. But I'm pumped for that. And the guys coming on, I think we're going to keep an ongoing open invite to Home Service Happy Hour Turfs Up Radio so that going forward, once they're the sponsor of the show, they're just going to have a seat at this round table. And so that'll be cool to get their angle on the industry because they serve a bunch of the people that we serve. So it'd be super cool to see what their insights are to what's working, what's not working in the industry, which is what this show's all about. What's working, what's not working.
Yeah.
What's fun, what's not fun. Speaking of fun, I want to pick your brain on this because I was having FOMO last week. You guys were all down at the huge. It's like I want to go, but I also travel way too much and I'm gone for 2 weeks in September on an elk hunting trip. and Marty was out of town. And so Marty and I, like, being out of town at the same time is dangerous. The babysitters don't like that when we're both out of town. And so it was an easy punt for me this year just for that reason. It was like, I travel way too much. I've been traveling way too much for 6-7 years. It's Marty's turn to travel, so let's let her do her thing. And I'm gone for and it's like, yeah, I'm gone for 2 weeks in September, and then another long weekend in October, and then a full week in November because it's hunting season. So I don't regret not going to the Huge because I got way too much other travel going on, and I want to prioritize my nerdy redneck hunting and fishing stuff. But I was having big time FOMO watching all you guys have a ton of fun. So how'd it go? How was it? What fun did I miss out on?
Well, we missed you for sure.
They probably like have a bunch of shitty light beers sitting around. They're like, what? Last year we went through so many of these. Why isn't anybody
No,
here?
we said, because you always, get it brought in. We're like, God, we didn't bring in our own.
Who's hauling in cases of Busch Lights?
And I'm really missing that. Well, we missed you, of course. And the best part about conventions are, that's when we all get to see each other. That's when you get to see your tribe. And there's nothing like, we've, now been at 2 events in the Philippines and there, and they just always reinforces there's nothing like the power of human connection and collaboration. And I know a couple episodes we talked about AI and the scariness of that. And that's the thing that can combat that, or that it can't replace, is genuine human connection and the collaboration that it comes out of it. So we miss you because that's the time we get to hang out, and that's the part that's the best, is the after hours. When people say the time at the bar, but that's it. The time at the bar and the conversations that you have, that you either work through things that are going on or you spark new ideas.
Yeah. So I'm and these are my words, not yours. I'm feeling like a pretty big hypocrite right now because I'm the one that's like, I'm not a huge fan of AI. I think AI is the end of the world. I think it's the destruction of happiness as we know it. And yet here I am. I'm sitting at home making shows with algorithms and artificial intelligence to promote it while you guys are all hanging out together. And I'm talking shit about AI, yet I wasn't there. Shame on me. But one of these times. But Sales Boost is coming up. So we got to talk about that too, because I'll be at that one. No way I'm missing that
one. So it was good to see people. I think it was a little bit conferences have been down this year. We know we really struggled getting people to Sales Boost. Ended up, I'm just self-proclaimed, knocked it out of the park. Filled it up, and it was great. But shows are seeing a struggle this year, and I felt like it was like the show was a little bit different. The schedule was a little bit different. It's kind of wonky. People didn't know. I think people didn't know it was on a Saturday. It was on a Saturday this year. Most people left Saturday morning. Anyway, but that aside, it was great. It was great to see the people. And now at the Huge, we launched Sales Boost 2025. So tickets are on sale now.
There they are. How do we get them? Where do we go? Where are they at?
Don't miss
it. What do they cost?
There's some other link that I'll figure out somebody to put in the comments over here at some point. But otherwise, you can be redirected there at salesboostlive.com. But I'll find a social post and put it over here.
I'm gonna find the thing.
We are super discounting tickets until Monday. So
hey, I found Sales Boost at the Home Service Workshop. Is that the right link? Can I post that?
Yeah, Sales Boost this year is combined with 4 other shows. So we're combining with Responsicon, everyone loves, Ryan Lee's, I don't know what it's called, but
Landscape Lighting Live.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere along that. I should know. I coach in this program. I don't know exactly what the live thing is called, but I think it's Landscape Lighting Live.
PWMCA, where we got to see you just for a high five.
Yeah.
And then an admin academy. So
it was a high five and a selfie.
It
was a high five and a selfie. It was good.
So back in Orlando, great chance to take the kids to Disney.
Heck yeah.
And hit up 4 shows.
What was the last one? I was too distracted reminiscing on Disney. What was the last one you said that's a part of it?
PWMCA. That's
Okay,
where we
was
were.
there one other one
PWNCA,
they said?
Admin Academy, Ryan Lee,
Admin Academy.
Responsicon,
Okay,
and us.
sweet. Hell yeah. Um, how how do you break that up? Like, it's obviously just one ticket to buy, but then behind the scenes, because Home Service Workshop is really hands-on stuff. Like that Responsicon Home Service Workshop had a way that vibe of the way they did things. Sales Boost was like interactive, but with speakers and some breakouts. PWMCA is obviously like very pressure washing focused. Landscape Lighting Live is, I think it's mostly landscape lighting focused, if I'm not mistaken. So how does that all, do you
How
guys
does
have
it
a
all
vision
work
of how that
together?
all comes together
So
and how
Home Service
people,
Workshop is now the umbrella, and
okay.
Responsicon goes back to its original own bread and butter of
Oh,
how they
cool.
ran a conference. So Home Service Workshop is just what we're all called together.
Sweet.
And the conference that runs us all, everyone will be together for the main stage every day. So there'll be, I don't know that they're doing as many meals. I don't know if there's breakfast or not, but we open the day with an amazing keynote because they're all coming together. That one keynote opens every day for 4 days. Your ticket to the Home Service Workshop gets you into the expo, gets you into the keynote, gets you lunch every day, extra perks. And then you can buy tracks. Then you choose and select the tracks. You can buy, I mean, we're at the DoubleTree, which is right off of Universal Studios. So it's,
There's two
Orlando
trees
theme. You
involved.
can
As
buy an
Mitch Hedberg
all-access
once said.
pass,
Yeah,
a
two trees.
hopper pass,
Mhm.
that you can hop between all the shows, or you can do individual tracks. So you can just be involved in the whole show and just go to Sales Boost, or just go to, or just do 2 tracks, like a 2-hopper, 4-hopper.
And will there be like a vendor expo? And if you're there, you can go into the vendor room
Yep.
regardless
Then
of how
there's
many
a
tracks you have.
vendor expo, yep, as well. Not the main ticket gets you into the vendor expo.
Okay. Sweet. I dig it.
And the lunch will be in the vendor expo, I believe. So a great chance to see people from other shows, I mean, we all have to travel so much. And if you're like picking and choosing shows and content, it's a great chance for everything we just said to like see the people in person and really collaborate, but only have to buy one plane ticket.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And it did, as more and more conventions were taking off over the last decade, it always just felt like you couldn't get to all of them. Like there were all these trade-offs that you had to make. And I don't think I'm the only one, but you only have so many travel bullets. Like obviously there's a financial cost to travel, so it's sweet. Now there's one plane ticket to buy. But way worse than the price of the plane ticket is the price of telling Marty that I'm going to another convention and I'm gonna be gone again. And then telling my kids I'll see you in 4 days. That's the hardest pill to swallow. I can handle the plane ticket, but missing them is the hardest part. So
Yeah.
I think it maximizes efficiency for sure. For sure. I mean, you guys crushed it so much at Sales Boost last year. And so much of that, I feel like, I mean, I know it was a scramble to sell tickets. And like you said, that's the world we're living in right now. That's the way the economy is. Like, that's a challenge. Once the tickets were sold, though, your execute, like the way you guys communicated, the way you took care of all the guests, the execution of the show was phenomenal. Are you worried at all about the ability to do that with the combination of shows? Are you just focused on the Sales Boost aspect of it? Or are you like, hey, we got to make sure Home Service Workshop can execute at that level? Because you guys had it at another level than any other show.
You know me, yeah, we want to make sure it's executed on that level. And I came from events world at the very beginning at a dance studio. It was my very first business. And so the choreography of an event and everyone feeling like they have a Disney-like experience. We both went to Disney World this year, that you just feel like you're taken care of. You feel like you're submersed in the experience. You don't feel lost. When you run an event, you really have 3 kinds of clients you're taking care of, which makes it interesting. The attendees, speakers, and vendors. And you really have to make it incredible for all of them. Everyone has their own, needs and communication and all of that. So we're going to work with Home Service Workshop to make sure everyone feels the same way, that, you feel like it's an incredible experience. And when you talk about Sales Boost, or even you talk about Disney, or you talk about some other event that was really impactful, most of the time you can't identify the details. I mean, everyone's like, that food was amazing. That's true.
Yeah.
But you don't really know what made it different. You're like, I know the whole experience was awesome and I felt awesome. And that's the goal. But there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes to making sure no one feels lost. You so over communicate that everyone feels guided through the whole experience.
Yeah. And you kind of mentioned it with the Huge, and like people didn't know it was on Saturday. And that was always a challenge, I felt like, in past years. Even when I was like emceeing with Sid and we're up on stage, it's like, man, I feel like I got 8,000 things to tell these people, and only half the people are in the room right now, and nobody really knows where to go. And it just seems, and trade shows aren't and conventions aren't the only places this happens. This is with employees. This is with customers. Everything comes down to communication and setting really good expectations. But it's the amount of like hand holding that needs to happen to really execute on that. And to your point, like make it feel like a Disney experience. There's a hell of a lot that goes into it. And I think the Huge has struggled with that over the years. I think like Atlanta was the first year that this ownership group did it. And so they were learning a lot. They've gotten better and better and better every year. But I think the Gaylord makes it twice as challenging. It's so big. Nobody knows where to go. The communication is so hard because, like, where the hell do you put signs in a place like that? You don't even know where the people are going to be walking through, coming from. And so, like, the venue makes it, unless you have an app that is just constantly, you need to be here right now, right? This is where the party's happening. Here's where you are. Here's how you get there. Like, you need that level of holding somebody's hand to tell them where to be at what time. Especially in a place that's that big. Was it in that regard with the Huge, back to the Huge, was that better this year of like year 3 at the Gaylord? Were they able to get people to where they needed to be, or is it still just a huge pain?
It's just a huge pain. And I'm not saying I know any of that. Like, they do a great job and it's a great team. And I'm not saying, but the Gaylord presents all its own obstacles.
It's so crazy.
If you're new, I mean, it's communicating to people in a way that they're going to listen. And it's hard because are we listening to what they say from the stage? Are we listening to an email?
Are you saying you weren't listening to me when I was the MC on that stage the last couple of years? You weren't listening?
I was listening.
Okay. You were, just nobody else.
But I want to relate this, as you say it, back to what all of our audience, what business owners can do. Like you said, it's not just an event, it's everything. Mm-hmm. And in business, this relates especially, I think, to the onboarding experience of a new client. And I used to talk about this a lot, and I don't anymore. And I wonder if people even watch ours, or how I'm just reflecting on my own experience and how we're using ours. But I think every business should have a Disney World video. And when you go on a ride at Disney, there's a video that plays. You stand in a room and there's a video that plays that pumps you up and tells you what to expect on the ride, and completely sets the emotion and experience and anticipation. And there's so much psychology and science that says when you tell someone what to feel, that's what they're going to feel. And so if for every customer, I don't care what you're doing, if you're cutting someone's grass and they get a video from you, and you can do it on your iPhone or whatever, and they get a video from you expecting, like, this is what's going to happen. Our crew's going to arrive. They're going to be in shirts like this, in a truck like this. And this is what we're going to, we're going to cut your grass. You're going to get a bill. We're going to charge your card on file. If you have any problems, please let us know. This is what happened. And you're talking in this voice of like, and then you're going to enjoy your grass. And what's even better than that is you get to enjoy your kids this weekend. We would love to know how you spent the weekend with that extra hour.
Smile. You don't get a nickname like Smiles without a smile like that. So you got to have that.
But think how powerful that, we were talking about an event. It's a lot more orchestrating and people getting lost, but a lot of our clients get lost in and that second of I don't know what's going to happen creates a friction in a client experience.
I wonder when I do a bookkeeping demo, I'm not sure how I could pull it off, but I think I could crush a video like that. That's right up my alley. I can
Yeah.
create a bookkeeping hype video that's goofy, that's funny, gets people in the right mood. So even if they're like, oh, bookkeeping, by the end of that couple minutes, they're gonna be like, sweet bookkeeping. I don't know exactly how to. Maybe I like would jump on the Google Meet and I would not go on video right away. I would just share my screen and I'd always have that video ready to go. So they would think I was coming in, but I would just come in with an immediate screen share and play the video. Like that would be my intro, if you will. And then I could roll into, oh hey, what's up, business nerds? Welcome to a bookkeeping demo. I'll figure it out. I'll work on it. I'll keep working on it.
Or you can do that, or send them like, make sure you watch this before your demo.
Yeah.
So they get.
I could probably, you know what? I could probably make it like a landing page on our website. And then when they book the Calendly link, it would send them that immediately. Like, hey, watch this right now.
Watch this right now. And then again, when they do their demo call and they've decided to become a client, like this is what you get now.
I'm writing it down. That's the way to make sure I actually do it. Make bookkeeping hype video. What do we call it? Is it a hype video? It's really like it's funny. It's like an expectation setting video for my expectation setting demo. I was going to stop calling my demos because they're really, it's an expectation setting call. It's really a value add. Like the first half hour is let me learn more about your business and try to add some value. And then the second half hour is just pure expectation setting. Let me make sure you understand exactly how we do what we do. And when, if it's not happening, you need to let me know immediately so I can get it back on track and figure out what the hell's going on. Because if we're not doing exactly what I said, then we're not doing our jobs. And then I got a problem I got to solve. That doesn't happen very often, but I need to know if we're not executing the way I promised we'd execute. So it's funny. It's like my demo is really an expectation setting call, but I really should have an expectation setting call or an expectation setting video for my expectation setting call. I'm writing it right now. I do. As you said that, I got like goosebumps about Guardians of the Galaxy. Like that, there's when you're in that room. Yeah. And that and the Star Wars for Revenge of the whatever, I don't remember. But they do such a good job. The Star Wars one, they walk you into a pod and then they move you and then they act like your thing has been hijacked. So like you're part of the story as they're explaining how the story's going to go. Like that's part of the line. And it's just but you feel like you're already on a ride. It elongates the experience. So when you get off of it, you're not like, oh, I waited 45 minutes for a 3-minute ride. It's like, yeah, I waited in line for 20 minutes and then I waited was that a line? I waited in an experience for 25 minutes where I was getting yelled at by stormtroopers. And then I went on a 3-minute ride or a 5-minute ride or whatever it was. But the whole thing in your brain feels like it was part of the ride. It was part of the experience. So it doesn't feel like you waited in line as long as you really did, because the line was its own journey.
And has its own emotions and, builds that anticipation for the ride.
Yeah. Yeah. Unlike, even Slinky Dog Dash. That was a blast. I don't know that there was a minute on Slinky Dog Dash. I don't think there was a minute where I didn't have a tremendous smile on my face. Like it was just fun. It was pure joy. But even when you're like, and that's just a straight line, there's no like experience in it, but you feel like a toy. Like everything around you is huge. To make you feel like you're one of the toys. And then you end up going for a ride on Slinky Dog. And so it's not an experience per se, but just the ambiance of that line. And you spend 30 minutes just looking at all the stuff. Like it's amazing the attention to detail on how much time they spent for the line you walk in.
Yeah.
That's cool. Anything else? What are you most excited about for Sales Boost in this? Can I call it a mashup? Can I call it the Home Service Workshop
Yeah,
mashup?
mashup.
It's a
That's what it
mashup.
should be, home service mashup. Maybe we can
Home
rename
Service
it.
mashup. What are you most excited for about it?
See all the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Already.
Have a
Just all
bush
the
light with
collaborators.
Dan. We're gonna have a bush light with Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, see you. A collaboration of
Oh, look at this guy.
all the people that
I
making
bet
magic
Rob will be
with the
there.
right people in the right room.
Beware.
It's the Home
Underwear.
Service Workshop. Home Service Workshop, late Feb.
Underwear. What?
Under there.
Yeah. So I clicked on that and I was like, well, it says the early bird's 149. What is this? What is this 549? I don't understand this. I only selected the one thing and I didn't. This is Rob being out of the loop. I didn't realize that. Hey, let's just consolidate all the conventions. Let's just like make it a week. Make sure that our livers definitely can't survive. It's like on the huge conventions, 3 days, but it's really like 7 if you're involved in Christmas lights or anything afterwards, or it's just piggyback.
Yeah, I'm scrolling right now. What do we? I'm looking at the website right now.
Yes, it's 5 because there's a ticket to the main stage and vendor show that's 149, and then the sales booth track is 399.
Well, and then I saw
It's
stuff obviously,
$3.99, but only for a couple more days, and then it goes to
Only for a couple more days.
$5.49.
Yeah, I got to get that. So Dan, don't put a fishing trip those days. All right.
No, actually, I was already looking at this. For all you boobs out there, anybody that's going to be a boob member, business owner, outdoor badasses, that is, that show is the week of Sales Boost is the week of, let's see, I want to say the right dates here so I don't get it wrong.
The 26th or the 1st.
February 26th. That's a Wednesday through that Saturday. I think we will ice fish either over Valentine's Day again, which would be like the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. So our wives will be mad or our spouses will be mad. Or we could do the weekend after that. We could do the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. But then it's a real quick turnaround to get to Sales Boost. And there's a priority for me with the ice fishing event this year that Angela and JC need to be there. And so I worry if I put it the weekend right before Sales Boost, that's going to, not that
be a repeat of last year.
I have watched them go from Ireland to Omaha to the Philippines to Nashville without stopping at home. I don't think they stopped at home. And so part of me is like, they could come ice fishing and then go run a convention. But also I know Angela takes her conventions really seriously. And so maybe we do it over Valentine's Day again. It seemed to work last year. But Angela, I think you and JC need to decide when we're going ice fishing, given that you have this event coming up. Would it be better to be the weekend right before and be like, hey, you know what? What's done is done and we're running. Or a week and a half early. Probably a week and a half early.
Yeah. Because we have girls in between. We have kids scheduled.
You do have a kid's schedule.
And all I need to do, the funny thing about, the great thing about doing the event in the Philippines was I actually have a team. When we do Sales Boost here, they're all laughing because they looked at me like helplessly over the screen as I'm stuffing all the name tags myself and like doing all the cutting all the things and stuffing all the bags. And I'm like, my whole team is in another country.
Hey, last time I checked, JC's got a couple girls that are the perfect age to stuff bags and wrap things that need to be wrapped. I feel like they're at the perfect age to learn how to do do the grunt work.
Have them on a better schedule, but they'll be
all about it. They're digging in.
And hopefully we'll have Hildy there with us at the.
Oh, heck yeah.
We're trying to convince Hildy to fill a sales position.
Why wouldn't she? What's she got going on? What's she up to? She's normally when it's just you and I. What's that?
she's only she just turned 22 last week,
Yeah.
but she makes 6 figures at 22 running managing a restaurant.
So that's tough to beat. That's
And
tough
is in
to-
college full time. Yeah, so
Yeah. It's gonna be
she's
tough
got
to
to sell a lot of virtual.
Yep. You better get busy. No, normally when it's just you and I, she's on here talking some shit. She's probably too busy managing restaurants or going to school. She's not available to talk shit, which is good.
We should get her on hers the time. Her confidence in talking shit has grown a long way.
It is. I was when we were in Mexico fishing with it was the inaugural unofficially official boob event where it was Jeremy Jennings, Joe Jevino, and Jimmy Bambuli and I. And there was a kid there from San Diego, and he works on he's a fisherman on boats out of San Diego. So he's around shit talking fishermen all the time. And he had to be in his low 20s. But I was like, man, this guy talks shit like he's in his mid 70s. Like there is not a comment that goes by without him having a damn near perfect response to it. And I can only chalk it up for the fact that he's just on a fishing boat all the time with dozens of dudes. So he's just picking up all sorts of smart ass comments. He was really spot on. I was pretty impressed. I gave him props. I was like, hey, for a youngster, like your shit talk game is really a shit talk game. Like I feel like young people oftentimes either don't talk enough, they're not offensive enough, or they're too offensive. They have a hard time.
What did you say, your mom?
Yeah, they have a hard time finding the sweet spot where it's like, yeah, you got me, and that was funny, and I can't help but laugh. They usually either take it too far and offend, or they don't go far enough, and so it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he had every time he would say something, he'd be like, that was good, and you got me, and that was really funny. Like you nailed it. So I was pretty impressed. He had it figured out, and I can only chalk it up to the fact that he's just around fishermen all day, every day. I don't know how many of the things he's come up with himself. But you gotta get your inspiration from somewhere. What's Rob doing over there? He jumps on, he freezes up, and then he leaves. He jumps on, he freezes up, and then he leaves.
Frozen.
He's frozen.
I'm here. I'm just touching. We're trying to. So in all this moving stuff.
Wait, were you not frozen up just now? Were you that still?
I don't know. No, it probably was frozen up. Even though, literally, the right there is is all the internet for the building, and I have 1 million bars right now.
So it should be good. You would think it'd be
Should
good.
be good. Should be.
I like the paint job up by your head. It looks like somebody got really close to finishing painting that room, and then they're just like, just a little tired.
Well, and then they were also right there. They're like, we don't need a light fixture. Yeah, we're good.
No. Why would you want that?
No,
Light?
And
The
hey,
glare from that's going to be horrendous.
the amount of look at all them wires. Yeah, whole lot of Ethernet, a whole lot of security cameras and stuff.
Baker's dozen. I bet there's a baker's dozen right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think it's 15, but
Baker's dozen sounds cooler. Rob, what was your FOMO level watching people make posts about the Huge and then you not being there having a shitty light beer with me? Were you at a 7, 8, 9, 10? 12?
Ooh, I mean, how many shitty light beers did I have? Is that what was the question?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Did you miss it? Did you miss it?
I miss hanging out with my friends. I miss that. I think it was, I took Brooke up to Philly to go to Italy. That was a little bit more important. I literally looked at the flights. I was like, okay, how much? I'm getting FOMO right now, but also, we're waiting on a stupid amount of money right now, and finances are tight. And then as a business owner to say yeah, guys, it's really tight. We're struggling, this and that. But hey, I'm going to Nashville, and it's not like we're BBB. You could go to Nashville for I can get $200, $300 flight and be really cheap about it all, and maybe be $600-$700, or you can be bougie and spend $1,500.
Yeah.
The going to the Huge, you're all right, there goes $4,000.
Yep.
Even Instacarting beer, you're still at $4,000.
Yeah, what's up with that? Those Busch Lights are expensive there. They get you.
Yeah.
They get you.
Those Mich Ultras.
Still cheaper than buying them at the Gaylord for $12 a pop. I will never forget last year I was hanging out with Sid and we were doing some MC notes, and then who else did I end up running into? Ran into Wesley Bloom, and he and I were chatting for a while. And so I was going to like grab some breakfast, but all I had time for was like a plate of fruit. So I just scarfed down a plate of fruit, and they brought me back bill, and it was $38.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. $38 for a plate of fruit. I was
But fun story back. We had, I think it was a Spray Wash Academy event like forever ago. The first one they had, and it was in Tampa. And Dougie Dew's there, right? And he's like, "Yeah, Angela, JC, come on in. I got everybody's breakfast. I got it. I got you. Thinking that it was all included complimentary breakfast, thinking he was being all funny. And then the lady gave him the bill, and it was like $300 or $400. He's like, well, shit. Not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
It was not what I thought was going to happen.
They get you.
Yeah.
Angela,
yeah, the Future at the Gaylord is, ironically though, I mean, we came right in from Philippines to Nashville, and so I was like, I have to preserve my sleep. I'm going to spend a little more money like prepping and get room service. JC went down to that. It's now $45 for a plate of fruit. I mean, regardless what you get at breakfast, it's $45 before tax.
Really? 1 year it went up 20% from $38.
But room service did not. I mean, my voice is still a little struggling. So I got hot tea, my Diet Pepsi that I have to have, my Chobani Greek yogurt, like all my perfect things, my yogurt that I need to put my protein powder in, 2 orders of bacon. And I mean, like all this stuff that I thought I was going to be bougie and order room service, and all of my stuff was $27. Including my tip.
So that's the way to go.
Including the tip. That's the other kicker on that. It's like, we're going to charge you $45, sir, and there's a mandatory gratuity for the service. Like that was the first huge convention. I was like, I barely have the money to be here, much less like have a $28 omelet, a $6, beverage, just non-alcoholic juice, and then tip you like another $10. Like,
Pro tip: order bacon to your room. It literally, there was 8 pieces of bacon in my $6 side of bacon. I'm like, this. So every day I was just like, room service, bacon.
Boom. That'll keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Angela, I got another sales boost question, but I want to reminisce. I want you to reminisce about the event in the Philippines too. So we got to get to that, and maybe we'll talk a little bit of the fall push here if we get to it. But back to sales boost, home service mashup workshop. What's the best part, and maybe the most challenging or worst part of trying to like smash these things together? I imagine there's some stuff that's like, oh, this is awesome. And then there's got to be some stuff that's like, this is a pain in the ass.
The best part is for all the people coming. I think it's the best case scenario for vendors, for speakers, and for attendees, because like everything about coming, like one less plane ticket, one less time leaving your family, one orchestrated thing, you want to leave and go and invest in yourself and spend time with people. And like, this is the place. I think it is good case scenario for all 3 of those groups. As orchestrators, it's hard. You just asked, like, the events have different experiences, and I am way into the whole choreography and experience. And each event has a different flavor, and some aren't as into that. And so I will be heavily invested. That the whole thing is just because I am so passionate about that. I think it changes the experience for everyone. And so that's the challenging part. It is good on our end to not have like liability of, not each person trying to orchestrate all of those things, every person having to do all the details. Now that I just said that, I don't have any name tags to stuff. That's not my job this year.
Hey, there you go.
But so it diffuses their responsibility of that. And for most people, like it is an incredible group of people. For most people, they would probably be able to let go a little more. For me, there is the challenge of, as the visionary of the event, I am no longer in complete, I gotta get everyone to buy into how important this is.
And what I'm hearing her say is that you can't bail on ice fishing this year. I think that's what I just heard,
That
because
was the
she's
key message.
not responsible for picking up her weight
don't have
and
to-
JC's weight.
But
Yeah.
it's incredible. We talked about the whole thing, and I don't think he's not on here, but he would say the same thing. Like, I know JC doesn't know 90% of what it took on my end to make Sales Boost happen, because that was my piece. We're partners in the event, and most people that put on an event don't go to that level or do that thing. So it's now I don't just have to convince JC. I gotta be brought in with the group. But
Yeah. What another question for you that just struck me. A lot of speakers / vendors will go speak at ResponsiCon. Historically, would speak at ResponsiCon, would speak at Sales Boost, would speak at PWMCA. How do you guys? Is everybody going to have speakers? And then, how do you call dibs on like who's speaking on the Sales Boost track versus the Home Service Workshop track versus the hold on, look at this guy. Can we bring him in? Oh, I can't. He's in the stream with audio only. Jai guy
Jai.
in the house.
Hi, Angela.
We had to wake his ass up. We woke him
Hi,
up.
Jai. I'm here too.
I have. Yeah, sorry.
Jai, we're not Jai, just to catch you up, we're not live on the radio today. Nothing to do with you. I got a new computer and I don't have the radio app on it. And so I realized that as I was firing this up, I was like, oh God, we're just we're doing a podcast. So no commercials today. But I did play the intro music just because we had to hype it up. We had to
because Angela needed to dance.
So I didn't play any commercials. So we might have to slide some commercial breaks in after the fact.
Yeah.
But other than that, actually, and we didn't, what we didn't do. Normally when I do that, we pause for like 2 seconds really awkwardly to give Jai a spot to put a commercial break in. So we're gonna do that right now. Here's a pause. Everybody be quiet so Jai can put a commercial in. That was good. There. Oh, and Rob had to leave. There, you can put a commercial break in there, Jai.
Hopefully we have another one somewhere earlier for you.
Yeah, I bet there's Jai's just gonna slam one in and be like, "Sorry, everybody, Dan wouldn't shut up." Yeah, Dan wouldn't shut up, so I just slammed in a commercial break.
Where did Rob go?
He's out and about right now. He's working. He just popped in for a little bit.
Oh,
who knows where I went? He's a man on the move.
I have no idea. That's a work in progress, Dan. Where the speakers will fall and go and be, and it'll fall into place just like it's supposed to be. And that's going to be a little bit of an adjustment depending on the type of speaker you are and your ego and whatever. If you were counting stages and you got to be on 4 different stages and 4 different, or some people that look at it as I got to be, go to one thing and connect with the same amount of people as I would have traveling 4 times. So
would you guys let somebody speak on multiple stages at the event? Like speak in different events?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. For some reason in my brain, I was like, oh, I got to pick which stage I'm going to speak on, which is obviously the Sales Boost stage. Well, don't get me wrong. Because if I go to the ResponsiCon stage, I can't swear.
Well, ResponsiCon will be more because there's already main stage speakers. I think their track is more focused on the hacking room because the Home Service Workshop is taking care of the stage experience.
Yeah, good point. And that, I think that's a really good point of it too, is just the shows, because I think ResponsiCon always would have some speakers to try to allow, is their way of allowing the vendors to get a little bit of stage time and kind of bring their specialty, but it wasn't built as a speaking event. It was built as like a hacking event. And so now it's kind of cool. They can like really hone in on that sweet spot for them.
I mean, and ResponsiCon or Home Service, maybe it's Home Service first, but ResponsiCon this year, I took my keynote super seriously. Because Kurt gave me an opportunity to speak on the big stage and keynote and do a workshop. And it's probably the best it was one of the most impactful things for me. I spent so much time crafting those messages. And so I don't even know what that means. I'm just talking out of.
But I think you never, even if the audience for it is small, it's great to like get your messaging down. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
hard to have a new. I last year at Clippa in when was that, May? Like small breakout rooms, very unfairly. Matt had me speaking when you and JC were speaking in another room. And so and that was tough. Like at Clippa, he had 3 breakouts at a time. And so yet with 100 people at an event, like it just splits up into very small rooms. But it was a memorable speaking for me in that my computer wouldn't work. So no slides, just had to wing. And I gave the Purgatories talk with no slides, which like sometimes it's just better that way.
Yeah.
And I always give my plot as 5 finance fundamentals. I always give that. And that was kind of fun because I was like, what the hell are they? I know there's 5 of them. And so like I'm going through and I'm asking the audience, like, hey, was that 3 or was that 4? Like, how many I got left to do? I covered them all. It took me a little bit, but it was kind of more fun and engaging without any slides because I was just kicking it around. If there were 300 people in that room, I would have been panicking. I'd have been like, oh no. Maybe not. I probably just would have said, somebody bring me a beer. Oh, just kidding. I brought my beer with. I'm good. I probably just would have winged it and it would have been fine. But it would have been way more intimidating. But with like 25, 30 people in the room, it was like, who's ready to have some fun? We're going to talk about nerdy bookkeeping stuff. And that we're basically making an episode of the Home Service Happy Hour show. We're just not going to record it. It's just going to be like live. You're hanging out with me. But that was somebody had even said in the room, he's like, I've seen you talk before. That was the best one. Like just Dan being Dan, going for it, like answering questions, being goofy, drinking a beer while I do it. And so some of those times where it's like, yeah, maybe the audience wasn't as big as you thought it was going to be or wanted it to be. It allows you cool opportunities to like do some different stuff that maybe you wouldn't have the balls to do. Or is Angela? I said balls. Angela would say courage. You know, Angela, it's all about the courage. You might not have the courage to do it with like a huge audience, right? Where you're like, I gotta like stick to my thing here. I like made this big thing and I gotta like, I can't go off script. When it's a little smaller, you feel a little more comfortable to be like, let me try some things out. And
yeah, it ends up the most impact. That was one of the most impactful ones I'd ever get. I mean, like I still get feedback. You're right on.
See,
because you're able to just like let go
and I wasn't there because I had so many other things to go to. So I missed you guys at ResponsiCon last year, but now I get to see you because it'd be in the same place. That'd be cool. As long as you come ice fishing. If you guys don't come ice fishing again, then every time that I see you, I'm just gonna act like you're not there. It's gonna be like, I'm just staring at the wall here. That's what I'm gonna do to you. It's gonna be super awkward. I wouldn't ever be able to do that, but maybe
I'm
I
going ice fishing. And hopefully we have tales of JC hunting before then as well. Hopefully I get him out hunting this fall.
Boys got to get out hunting. Bring it, send him up. Just buy him a plane ticket and be like, you're going to see Dan. Get your ass out of here. Pull one of those on him. I'll take him out and make him climb a tree with me. He'd love it. He's gonna love it.
We moved, but we used to have deer in our backyard.
I know he would send me pictures, and I was like, just that they look so tasty out there. Just go grab one.
Area.
Throw that baby on the grill. Give us a little update, refresh, reminisce on your guys' event, the Unique Genius Virtual Assistant get together in the Philippines. How freaking cool was that to like go? Was that the first time you've ever like met all of those people in person?
It is the first time. Jai, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here. Let's talk about it.
So I met Jai. I got to hug Jai and hang out with Jai and have a beer on the beach with Jai.
Well, on the day of the summit, I was there. I was the first person to get what do you call this? Picture with Angela and JC. I was the first one, so
bragging out.
It was so cool. Yeah.
So even though
Is it
Jai is
really
not
cool?
part of our, you got Jai not through us, right? We adopted him. We officially adopted him
Yeah,
into
you
the
adopted Jai.
Yeah.
UG Warrior Tribe. And I told you, I was like, we're inviting Jai. Jai's us. Jai's in with us. And it was so cool.
Honorary unique genius.
Honorary. He's part of our tribe now. And
Yeah.
as you can imagine, like you haven't met him in person and be able to hug Jai, and you know, I've known you on the show for, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years probably now.
2 years.
Oh, yeah,
I've
we're
known
coming
some
up
of
on
our
2
team
years.
members for
Coming up on our
5
2-year
years.
anniversary meeting, Angela.
Yeah.
What?
I said we're coming up on our 2-year meeting
2-year.
anniversary. 2-year anniversary.
And so people that I've known for 5 years and have seen me through like walks of life. And Jai kind of has too. It was funny. He's asking me questions about people, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot you've known me this long, Jai."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "You still get the IVs and different things." It just was so fun. I mean, the summit and putting it all on, but like just to look people in the eye.
Oh, hi.
Danny's in the house.
Hi, Danny.
You can't hear him because all the audio is coming through here. Here.
Hi,
Hi.
Danny.
Hi.
Nice
There.
to meet you.
You hear him okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Danny's in the house. The girls don't have school until next Wednesday. And so
Oh,
and like summer school is done. So they're just here, stuck, hanging out,
Hanging
having to
out.
make themselves lunch. What'd you have for lunch today? What'd you make yourself?
Pizza bagels
That's pretty solid.
Wow.
and a toast bat and a toast pizza.
That's
Pizza
pretty.
Send me
That
some.
sounds pretty darn similar.
Next time you send us some, okay?
Yeah, if you're making food, you gotta make it for everybody. I don't
Okay.
remember seeing a pizza bagel slide up on my desk. Next time.
Now you're
Okay.
just making me hungry.
Mhm.
Pizza bagel.
Likewise.
Sounds good.
Likewise. What did Reggie eat?
She ate a cheese pizza bagel.
Cheese pizza bagel?
I ate pepperoni pizza bagel.
Pepperoni for the win. What's pizza without pepperoni?
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
But we didn't have any sauce, so we just went without sauce.
No sauce.
oh.
You could have. We got all those tomatoes. You could just cut up a tomato. That's pretty much sauce. Well, now I got Reggie in the house. This is what happens when your
Oh,
kids.
yeah.
Bring him in. Yeah, I can see it.
There you go.
Hi,
Reggie.
Reggie.
They're
So
just running around causing all
No
sorts
cost.
of trouble.
Now
Yeah.
Cosby is missing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you guys remember Angela from Disney when we gave her a high five and took
Mhm.
a picture with her, and then they were going the
Yeah.
other way?
Yeah.
You remember that?
hmm
That's her.
I know.
You can tell because of the way that it is.
Yeah. You know.
All right. Why don't you guys go play, and then we'll talk to mom.
No. And then we can go. And then we can go.
No,
to
we are going to be
bar.
the stars of the
No.
show.
Okay,
We have now
don't
taken over.
play. Don't play. Did you say you're gonna go to the bar? Is that what you just said? Okay, I thought so. They're going to the bar. That's
We should
Sound
have a
like
daughter
true
takeover
Platas.
sometime. We should arrange. You should have headsets for them. Hildy can get on here, and
Yeah.
they can have a takeover.
Last
I
time
really-
Dan did. Yeah, last time Dan did on a Thanksgiving Day. I think it was 2 years ago, or maybe a year and a half ago. What do you call this? Marty was live with Dan.
yeah. I was just thinking, I got to get Marty back on. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since we had Marty on. Angela, I
Wake
wanted
up
to
the-
do. I wanted to do an episode. I still not wanted to. I still want to do an episode with like Marty and I, you and JC, Rob and Tori, and just some like couples in business. And you and JC are a little bit different because like Tori and Marty aren't in the business, right? They like have their own thing going on. But I like a couple different perspectives on it and just the ins and outs of relationships with
Mm.
spouses that are engaged in small business and like the chaos and the what you do with the kids and the how that goes and the tips and the tricks and the what works for us sort of thing. I think that would be a super fun episode. My kids are
Yeah,
just-
ours is unique because we're both I mean, it's not just, some couples are like in the business together, like in JC's home, in the
Yeah.
washing and cooking site business together.
Yep.
And it's different even attending the huge, right? Like some people bring their spouse or bring their partner to the huge. Like Rob brought Tori to Clippa and
Yeah.
bringing someone. Whereas I am so thankful, and I've said that before, I'm so thankful that I got to enter this world and like I was friends with you and Michael, and like I had my own relationships
Yeah.
in this world and own business establishment before we were together, instead of it was just
Angela's with Angela. Here's what you don't. Here's why. I know exactly why this is if everybody knew JC and then you showed up and you were just with JC, then you for sure would have been JC's girlfriend. That's why. That's the main reason why you're glad that people knew Angela first. So your identity wasn't, well, that's JC's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Now you're
I
his
had my own-
ex-girlfriend.
I had my own business and my own, but it's another uniqueness instead of like, hey, I'm with my friends, you're going to be over here and I'm with my people. Like they're both our people,
Yeah.
So everything we do in like going to the huge, a lot of people go and like you go and that's like your guy time or whatever, like your friend time. But all of our stuff, it's both of our friends.
Yeah, it's overlap.
So even like
Now-
ice fishing, like
Yeah. You would
people
be.
are going on these and that's their time. And it's like, we're both in the group.
Yeah. I don't know. There'll have to be like a different set of rules with you there. I don't know what that looks like because it's only ever like 5 to 10 dudes drinking too much and farting a lot. That's kind of like the event. I'm sure you can put up with that. I'm sure you've put up with that for a long time. And most of the time, like the other 4 times of the year that I go, if I get out, I try to get out 5 times. Like my wife is already there. Is always on those trips, and so it's built for a female to be up there. Like we have all the luxuries, like a porta potty, like a little toilet in the what I call the closet. We got a little toilet up in there. I don't know what else would you need. I think we got it all figured out. Like my wife survives. You can figure it out. You're from Nebraska. You can figure it out. But what like I don't know. We'll just figure it out. I'm curious, now that you guys are engaged, does JC refer to you as his ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
How does that go? I'd fully expect that he would.
For the record, I am now in Michael Gregory's phone as JC's ex-girlfriend.
JC's ex-girlfriend. It's got a nice ring to it.
He thought it was funny, even though Michael knew me and I was in Michael's phone as my own name before I ever met JC. As soon as I had a girlfriend problem, Michael changed my contact name to JC's girlfriend.
Oh yeah, when he knew it bugged you. Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds
But
about
now
right.
now he showed me I am now JC's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's
it
fair.
started at the Unique Genius Summit. JC started calling Angela his ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I heard it once. Yeah. It was funny.
It is funny. It's like a term of endearment now. It's just a
Yeah.
term of endearment.
It was sort of funny in that context though, because like my team did some posts. It's
Oh, yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I am always still like in the home service world, like his partner, his girlfriend, it's like JC and I'm here.
You guys are inseparable.
It was
Bonnie and
suddenly
Clyde.
that world, and it was like he was Angela's fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela came first. JC's just along for the ride. Give me as we wrap up here, we're coming up on the 1 hour mark. What give me like a couple just big time highlights from that event and maybe some things that you'll like for sure do next year when you go. I assume you're going again because I want to come. And maybe some things that you'll do differently.
So number one highlight, I will say it again, is seeing the people, like hugging the people, seeing Jai, seeing our people, just like the power of seeing people. And when we launched this event, a lot of people were skeptical about coming. They'd never been away from their families, the moms away from their kids. They didn't know about traveling. People had to fly in. There was tons of logistics to pay for everyone to get to a space. And it was more amazing than I ever thought. That one, just for us to get to see them, but then look who's gonna make it for everyone to be able to
Oh,
experience that,
dog.
and the whole family just to get to be together. It just is so much cooler than we could have possibly imagined. Like
Oh,
it
I
just,
bet.
I mean, like I said, we got to drink beer with Jai on the beach. Dan, are
Yeah.
you so jealous of that?
I'm yeah, like I don't like that you're saying that. That feels like that should have been me there. I'm glad somebody got to, but I'm super jealous. Super jealous.
And so, I don't know that we'll do much different. The location's going to be different. We think we're going to be in Cebu next year.
Better
We are
fishing. I
inviting
heard there's better
clients.
fishing there. There's better fishing over there.
There's better fishing there. Your team is
Yes.
fully expecting that you're going to come. We hope some clients come with us. And
He already said yes, so he's coming.
I'm
He
in.
yeah,
already
Dan said yes, so he's coming.
Yeah.
I'm in as long as Marty says so. I'm in.
And
As long
bring
as
Marty.
says it's okay.
Just tell you're going on a fishing trip. Just don't tell where.
If
but
I said, hey, I'm
everyone's
going to
excited.
the
Like everyone
Philippines
is
to go
so
fishing,
excited, not
yeah,
only
she'd be all
for
in.
who they're gonna, like them coming, but who they're gonna bring with them. And I don't know, other highlights, best worst. One of my favorite things is we love the song "A Million Dreams"
Oh yeah,
Um,
that one.
in what's it, The Greatest Showman, and we kicked off the conference with everyone closing their eyes, listening to that song, and just letting them know, like, our vision was our dream is so big that all their dreams fit inside of it.
I love it.
And I don't know.
Yeah,
it's pretty
there's people
powerful.
just
Yeah.
emotionally crying and just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, I'm crying thinking of it.
they were like they were feeling it and believing it, and it's so different. The Filipino culture, like they embrace a lot more than we would here, and they literally just sat there and they listened to the words and they felt what Angela said, and once it was over, it was like, grab the tissues, here we go.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
was gonna say that once you hear that song, it's kind of hits different every time you hear it now after that
Yes.
summit. At least for me. So
Yeah.
that's
Aw.
really cool. Yeah.
See,
And
give
I got
Angela a
everyone-
tissue. She's like reliving it. Now you got to get her a tissue. I got a video of JC crying. And he was like apologetic and he was crying. And then, and Jovi was there and she was asking him for his bookkeeping stuff. And then right at the end of it, he's shaped up and he said, "Fuck you, Dan." And I was like, oh, like he was just playing me. Just playing me. We're never gonna get his QuickBooks balance sheet right. Someday.
Oh, that's funny.
Someday.
And we got everyone to dance. You would never, I don't think that would happen in the US either. We got some dance videos coming out, and yeah,
Oh,
it was
dang.
Oh yeah. Watch out for those.
awesome.
Jay-Z's in it. So
Oh, I
That's
bet
really
that
cool.
boy would dance. Can't hold that guy back. All
Oh,
right. I gotta call her quits. We gotta go get Kraz dog, and then my truck is in the shop. We gotta go get that dog. Kraz dog and truck dog need to go get picked up.
You still have stuff to do.
Work. I'd say hold on. Let me do this. I got this. Hold on. There we go. Look at me producing the show.
I was
was
gonna
playing
play it.
Yeah, I was on it. I got the music going. We got Angela dancing. I got Chris. It's a busy week this week. I got Chris Jones on tonight. He owns a staffing company, recruiting company down in Omaha. Just super good dude. We're gonna have some cocktails. We're gonna talk labor market, economy, all sorts of BS. And then tomorrow night, bonus episode, our new sponsor is gonna be on. We're changing all the stuff. The backgrounds are going to be different. The logo is going to be different. The intros are going to be different. We're working on things behind the scenes. It's going to be super cool.
A little
so-
different. Yeah.
yeah, not that.
Just a
different.
little different.
I'm
Not
just
that
playing it up.
different.
This sounds cool. All right, guys. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. We'll see you tonight with Chris Jones. Peace.